Good afternoon. This is the market update for Thursday, May 2nd. And yesterday we actually had a retrace in the market that lasted an entire trading session. Absolutely unbelievable. They actually were able to keep the market red for the whole day and actually managed to push it down 150 plus points before we saw a little late day rally yesterday. It was the end of the world. The Fed came out and said that they were going to maintain their bond buying program and could increase it if the economy continued to slug along. So, of course, the market sold off on that news. The shorts piled in. That was it. It's the end of the rally. Down we go. So, today we had the ECB come out, cut interest rates, also come out and say, Draghi, that the ECB would consider negative interest rates. That's even less than what the Fed is doing, if you can believe that. And using that and the fact that a bunch of shorts had been trapped, lo and behold, the entire sell-off from yesterday was almost recovered. And back up we go. And that's just the way this market has been. Looking at the daily chart, you can see, well, the all-time high is just a few points higher up at there, 14,887. But as I mentioned, 15K is probably where you'll start to see the business media really start to get going and the average news shows really start to talk about it. We've just been missing these average guys in the market. 15K might do it. And that would be very, very good for the micro and small cap stocks. As we said, what we were probably going to see this month was a rotation out of the really strong sectors into what has been lagging. And so far, that has really been the case. The technology stocks have just taken off over the last couple of days, and that's been a big laggard this year. So the other one we're looking at is small and micro cap stocks to also pick up with an eye as well on energy plays. Dow Transportation, as you can see, we broke that, was actually a pretty hefty sell-off seen in the trannies yesterday. Broke down through that support. Didn't really recover all that much today, not compared to what the Dow has actually done. But again, another one of those things, drop down, break support, suck the shorts in, scare the weekends out, and back up we go. I mean, if you're watching the clown shows yesterday, the business media on TV, it was all sell in May, go away, time to get out of stocks, the end is here, sell everything. And here we are back up again, back where we were yesterday, and those clowns are nowhere to be seen. And as a side note, like I said, article posted on the website under the articles section, May tends to be an up month. 47 up months, 38 down months. The last 3 have been down, which is why you hear this prevalent talk about, oh my God, the market's going to sell off again in May. But recall what's happened over the last 3 periods, the last 3 Mays. We've had European nonsense flare up. And at least for now, the Europeans seem to be very, very willing to push the liquidity out there, so it is unlikely we see any sort of European nonsense to knock the market off. And just to put this out here, before the last 3 years, when we had 3 red years in a row in May, the 3 previous years to that, the market was up in May. So perhaps this is going to be the start of a new trend where we go up in May. And all those clowns who sold thinking the sell in May thing will end up chasing back stocks even higher. Now, we do need to see the trannies break a couple of things, actually. You can see here we've got this little triangle resistance here. It's right now at 6,200. And since the March highs, the Dow trannies have been putting in lower highs, which is bearish. And we really need to see it take out 6,200. And 6,300 is the confirmation that this rally is far from over. 15-minute chart, you can see we took out support. So if you were following that and shorting it, you got trapped, and then you got chasing back again today. Russell, kind of a muted bounce. Russell really got taken to the woodshed yesterday, just like the transportations. It really follows that index to a T. Bounced back a little bit today, and again, just like the trannies, really needs to take out that 955 area. But hopefully if that rotation that we're looking for happens, we'll start to see these small micro cap stocks really pick up steam. But anyway, let us jump into some stock plays. OTIV, very, very nice. 15% gainer so far. And as I've been saying in the chat room, this stock has the possibility for a 50% gain over the next few days. As I mentioned, VRNG and PRKR, when they had their Markman hearings, patent hearings, they ran big. Still have not, although the volume has started to pick up, we really haven't seen the big volume come in. When we start getting million volume share days on this one, it's off to the races. And this 200-day moving average, I don't think is going to give much, if any, resistance at all. We could be looking at 150 very, very quickly on this one. MCZ. Now, the reason we jumped into MCZ, you recall, actually, let me find that chart real quick. AMD, went over it in this weekend's video as a play into the Xbox launch, May 21st. It was also breaking out of a range. Broke through, was on the pop scan, broke through that 293 resistance, and absolutely unbelievable move for a large cap over the last 3 days. The stock is up, what is that, 20% in a couple of days, blowing through and hitting all targets. And that has set up some of the other plays into, COOL. This one's up 25% over the last couple of days. So we had jumped into Mad Cats. And as I said in the email alert, many of these game makers have had a bad year because everyone's waiting for the new consoles to come out. PS4, Xbox 720. These guys, the survivors like Cool and Mad Cats, should do very, very well over the next year because we're going to have new systems, new accessories are going to be needed because the old stuff is not going to work with the new systems, and that is going to be a boom. Remember, these guys are making money at the bottom of a cyclical cycle in their sector. Very nice rounded bottom on this one after the nonsense after the earnings report. First target, 200-day moving average, 55 cents. Very strong volume over the last couple of days. We'll probably see them start to really chase this one on a 50-cent break. So looking very, very nice for us on this play. One that we jumped into in the chat room, wasn't enough time to send out an alert. We've been watching this one actually for the last month, BLDP. We tried it last month and it ended up stopping us out. It tried to break out and then just ended up giving it up. But today, finally, broke through that $1 resistance area and just took off. And this one could have some legs over the next couple of days. We could be looking at this one at 115 to 125 plus very, very quickly. RSI has gone broken through the 50 level very, very nicely. All the other indicators look really, really nice. And late in the day, last 20 minutes as well, these guys had some nice news, but the solar stocks took off. SPWR posted a surprise earnings beat, and that stock took off, and it took all the other ones up for a very nice ride. We actually jumped into some HSOL in the chat room, 97 cents, and it got as high as 106. So the solar sectors are going to be on strong watch tomorrow for scalp trades, because usually when the solars wake up, they tend to go for a few days. And Ballard Power, aside from the nice chart breakout, is also in that solar sector. We did have a disappointment this week. ETRM, we got that nice pop into the earnings. We were expecting some sort of decent update on the FDA filing. That did give some positive news regarding their system on the conference call, but no firm date, and as such the stock fell down, but still rather cheap. We're down if you held it and didn't sell, you're down 3 cents on this one. Not bad when it had 25% plus upside potential, and it's still coiling here. I mean, when this one finally breaks the $1 level, it should be a very, very nice ride higher. Quick mention on IBIO, consolidating here. The bird flu story is continuing. Europe, head of the European flu stuff, or whatever their department is, was talking about the flu and their expectations that it will spread. And, What I'm thinking is going to happen, the flu stocks have done very well over the last couple of weeks, but they've been kind of consolidating even on the daily flu news that comes out. What is probably going to light the fire under these stocks is when you see a headline that the flu has spread out of an Asian country. Like if we saw it pop up in Europe or Africa or somewhere else like that, if we saw a case like that pop up, you would see all these stocks really take off. IBIO, we are about to see a positive MACD cross on the chart, probably tomorrow. Stochastics have broken up through the 20 level. You can see on-balance volume shows very solid accumulation here. So just a wait and see on this stock. And I believe the sector is far from over, so just keep that in mind. With that in mind as well, BCRX, very, very nice flag on this one. This one actually broke through the flag on Monday, Tuesday, and then ended up giving it back, but it's holding above the 20-day exponential. I think the next break of the 2 to 205 area is finally going to set this one free for a nice big move. And one thing to note on the chart, you can look here at the volume bars. The up days are on very, very heavy volume. The red days are on much lower volume, a definite sign of accumulation. So just keep that in mind. Going into tomorrow's session, we've got the jobs report. Probably end up being choppy. A bad jobs report would actually be viewed as bullish for the market because it means the Fed will probably have to kick more money into the system. We've got the Japanese pumping in tons of liquidity. We've got the Europeans now definitely committed to a quantitative easing. So there's a lot of liquidity sloshing around the globe, and that has one place to go: stocks. And if you're going to invest in stocks, where do you invest? Safest market there is, U.S. So we could be in store for some very nice upside. We just need Joe Average to get in this market and for our mania to come into the small cap. So going into tomorrow, we're going to be watching the solar stocks very, very closely, and our other setups like OTIV, MCZ, BLDP. So have a great night, and I will see you guys in the chat tomorrow. Bye.